Hey guys, welcome to the Refined Savage. Today on the show we have pro strongman from Ohio, Josh Reynolds. He is super strong and has the best hair in strongman. So check out this podcast just for you. Refined Savage, see ya. Josh, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Not too bad of a drive over. You said about 40 minutes?
Yeah, not bad at all.
Where are you from?
Springfield,
Ohio.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, you go up, I think the first time I ever saw you was training with Steve Schmidt.
Yeah.
Where, do you go up there a lot with him?
Every Saturday.
And
then sometimes during the week. It just depends on what works out. I've been up there a couple times. Like if we both have a big deadlift or a big press during the week or something, I'll drive up there. It's like an hour and a half. It's not too bad.
He's got an awesome training group up there. I see you up there every once in a while. I'll see Jake comes up there. Jake
Reynolds.
Reynolds. I've been trying to get him on the show too.
He's getting married tomorrow.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah.
So maybe I'll give him a little space.
Yeah. He's getting married, and then I think they're going. I think he said Hawaii or something like that.
He's way too fair-skinned to do well in Hawaii. He's going to be in a lot of problems if he goes there.
Yeah. So tomorrow morning I get up and drive to Worcester for that.
For the wedding, cool. Yeah. Are you in it or just going to watch?
I'm just going to support, I guess.
See a man down. See a man go down.
Stacy's cool though.
Yeah.
She's awesome. She comes and trains with him too. She's real cool.
Oh, I think I have seen her lifting and stuff. That dude freaks me out with how well he squats.
It's stupid.
I watch him squat. I go, because at one time I had a 600-pound front squat. Well, 585. I had 6 plates. I had a 585 front squat. It didn't look anything like his 600-pound front squat, though. I mean, he's so fluid. I mean, mine look like in the way I squat now, it constantly looks like shit's breaking. And the guys I live with laugh because they know when I hit depth because I'll have 2 pops, one in my knee, one in my hip when I hit depth instead of one, and they'll laugh about it. But he's just so fluid and perfect. He looks like one of those pictures of like when they show babies squatting down in that perfect form,
Yeah, he makes it look so easy. That and overhead. His overhead is insane.
Yeah, I watched him set that record with the log press a couple years. He did it at Sean Shoemaker's.
Yep.
And he just kept trying and trying and
Yep.
trying. I think he took like 10 attempts at it before he actually hit it. That was pretty impressive. That was like the first strongman competition I'd ever done.
Oh, okay.
So I was sitting there watching him do this. I'm like, holy shit, man, this guy is never going to make this lift. He keeps trying. And then all of a sudden he made it. I never thought after 8, 9 attempts he was going to catch that.
Yeah. Yeah, he's something else.
Yeah.
Those 2 lifts.
How did you get involved in this stuff?
Man. So, I was at a buddy's house one day. Well, of course, everybody watches it as a kid.
Yeah, right.
On ESPN, I always watched it. Thought it was super cool. I was at a buddy's house working out in his garage, and he lived on a farm, and they just happened to have a spare tractor tire.
Yeah.
And we were joking around. We're like, we're going to go flip this like the guys on TV. We did it, and I was like, man, that was fun. And he was like, well, why don't you try to find a contest? And this is in 2009.
Yeah.
I think I started in 2009. So I got on the internet and looked and found a contest in Xenia, which is about a half hour from me.
At the time, probably one federation still, right?
It was
Willie and Dion were still together.
Yeah. Yep. And it was Ori Barnett ran it. I went and did it, and I mean I was hooked.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I loved it.
You get into that. It's such a good community of people, and you notice that strongman. When I went from Highland Games and started doing some strongman stuff, the community is so very similar. I don't know what you don't get it so much in powerlifting,
right,
as you do in strongman and Highland Games, where I think we kind of realize as strongman athletes and Highland Games athletes that we're not this isn't the Olympics. We're not there's not that much pressure. If you screw this up, you can laugh at yourself a little bit.
Yeah.
And we kind of look at the ridiculousness of what we do as opposed to powerlifters who are a little bit more intense, I think, with the competing.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So you ended up doing that one, and then how did it progress? I mean, did you?
So I did that one, and I competed against one other guy, and I beat him. And I mean, I called Ori. I found he had a website at the time, and I called him, and I went and trained with him one time before the show, and then went and did the show and beat that guy on like every event.
Yeah,
and I was like, I'm going to nationals. Yeah, right. I'm gonna destroy everybody.
Well, you probably would have qualified. Did you qualify?
I did qualify.
Yeah, right.
But the nationals was in like That was in, I think, September, and Nationals was in like 3 weeks in Mississippi. Or not Mississippi. Where was it? Louisiana. It was Louisiana that year. And I was like, I'm going to go. And then I started looking stuff up on YouTube, and I saw the other guys that were doing it, and I was like, I'm not going to that.
Yeah.
And then my next show, I got waxed. I got dead last. And I think that was really when I got hooked, I guess. Because I was like, well, that sucks. I don't want to feel that again. So instead of like just stopping, I just I was at like an Anytime Fitness at the time. I found a more serious like powerlifting gym.
Yeah.
Got around a good group of guys. And then I competed for maybe 4 or 5 years. And then I met Steve. And that was right when I qualified for my first Arnold. He called me like 3 weeks before the Arnold. Was like, hey, I'm doing the Arnold. You're doing the Arnold. Come down and train with us. At the time, I was working Saturdays. I like called off work. I was like, I gotta go train with this guy. Because I'd seen him compete so many times. Like he was at the following year, I think 2010 was my first Nationals, and that was the first year they did the qualifier for the Arnold.
Right.
And he was one of the guys, and I was like, well, he obviously knows what he's doing. So I was like, I can't pass this up. And then, so I did that Arnold, and then, I'm trying to think, maybe another year or two. I got a new job, wasn't working weekends, so then I just started driving up there, and then that's when it really got serious.
Yeah, it's amazing what a training group like that'll do for your learning curve.
Yeah, crazy.
I remember my first contest was kind of the same thing you did. Was I went out and won it, and it was Team BSS I did, and won that and qualified. And then I think the Nationals, I think that was a NAS meet, Strongman Core meet, and it was in Vegas, and I did the same thing. Oh, yeah. I'll go to Nationals, see how well I do there. Then I looked at all the weights, and I'm like, fuck, I can't do those weights. Yeah. And it was like a month later, and I was like, I don't think I'm going to pass this one up. But, so how many Arnolds have you done now?
Man, I got to think about that one. 4 or 5, I think. I think 5. I did 1 year, I was an alternate, and then 2 years I just missed out on the top 10. I was 12th and 14th. And then 2 years ago I was 8th, and last year I was 3rd. This past.
And are you qualified for this year? Have you already gone through yet?
That's just an amateur. So I won my pro card at the Arnold.
Oh, that's right.
I was the top American. So.
Okay, so Arnold. This was the last one you just did. So you got your pro card
in March. Yep.
So what happens now? I mean, does the availability to compete go down a lot because you can't just go to all these? I don't like.
Kinda.
Susan was trying to explain it to me that she could only compete in certain shows now.
Yeah. Like I just did ASM 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
In California, and then really for the most part, pro wise right now, there's ASM, and then Willie has those like Arnold qualifiers,
right, for
the international Arnolds, and then Giants Live, they were in Indiana. So something like that. Now it's basically, I mean, from my understanding, I'm still trying to get a grip of what's going on because it's all new. That I'm waiting on an invite to something, SCL, something like that.
Now, with being a pro, is there prize money? If they invite 10 guys, are 10 guys getting paid? Is only the top guy getting paid? Is anybody getting paid?
At ASM, I think top 2 got paid.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I can't remember how much it was. But that was just this year. I don't know how it's been in the past. I've never really... it's all still so new.
Right,
it's so weird. Because I'm used to like that. Do the Arnold in March. Qualify for Nationals. Do Nationals, qualify for the Arnold. Is what it's been for...
Now, were you doing Nationals for both USS and Strongman Core? Or?
No. Okay. I haven't done any USS stuff yet.
Okay, but now as a pro, you can
go do USS.
So fucked up. I think all you guys feel like. I think you're the kids in some divorced family where do you love mom better? Or do you love dad better? It's such fucking horseshit. But it would be nice if they do let you go back and forth. That'd be cool.
Yeah, we can. I just haven't. My goal forever was pro card and hopefully do it at the Arnold. I never wanted to do it at Nationals. Being close to home, like my friends and family are always there.
Yeah, right. Arnold's the biggest stage in the world for strongman at every level, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, it seems like it's amazing to me that competition for the Thors and the Brian Shaws of the world has become, pretty much the same as World's Strongest Man. Yeah. I mean, which one, if you win one, it's just as good as winning the other,
Yeah.
Who runs that? Is that the Giants Live guys run
Not the Arnold. Terry Todd, and then I think there's a committee, but Terry unfortunately passed away the past couple months.
Yeah.
So I don't know who. I would imagine his wife's still going to be involved.
Right. Jan.
Yeah, and then they have Dion helps with that.
Mm-hmm.
I do believe. I don't know 100%. And then I think there's a whole committee that works, and then all the boss guys from Columbus help Steve with the weights and all that stuff.
Right. Yeah, and I know. I know when they were looking for that stone last year, I think they ended up using a Ode Hogden stone for that stone.
That stone to shoulder.
But I know they were looking at Steve Schmidt's stone, and when I went to go interview him, he's like, "Hey, come check this stone out. They might use it at the Arnold this year." So of course, being the fucking meathead that I am, a pair of jeans and a t-shirt, couldn't even get this thing to roll around in my hands.
I can't touch that thing.
Right.
Period.
So I don't know how good Ode's stone was compared to that one.
I don't know.
I can't even imagine lifting Steve's to my shoulder. And if it was anything like the one they used at that comp.
Oh, no. No. I don't like loading stones, period.
Oh, anyway, no, not your thing?
I mean, I like them, but I'm not the best at it, I guess.
Right.
So, but that...
You need about 3 more inches of arm.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think that stone's 401.
Yeah.
And I think Steve and... There's a 231 guy from Columbus that comes up and trains with us. In my opinion, he's probably one of the best stone loaders in the world. Josh Isley.
Okay.
He just did the Arnold. He's doing the IHGF
stones
in California this weekend. He won he tied for first in the Dublin show here.
Okay, so I saw videos of him. I'm going to get him on the show.
Big, tall, lanky guy. He's just... Well, I think he's actually Marysville, but he comes down and trains at Beyond Limits.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was at Dublin the day before. I competed in the Highland Games, and every year I think about, because I that's my thing. I love stones. I love doing Atlas stones. I love odd stones. That's the one thing I can do. I can deadlift and do stones. So I was like, I'm going to do that. I'm an old man, and after a day of competing in the Highland Games, I don't want to even think of. And I know every year I just say to myself, you're not going to want to do that the next day. But I think that's a really cool event. That the IHGF puts on. And, good for them. I'm glad that they're doing something like that, because I'm hoping they put that on like YouTube or something to watch.
I hope so.
Yeah. Yeah,
because I think whoever wins this one goes to Norway for the World. Right. That'd be so cool.
That event looks incredible. Yeah. Buddy of mine, Lance Holland Keene, sent me a link to that, and that just looks so awesome. We're planning an event. It was supposed to be this coming summer, but I think I'm going to back it off until 2020, because World Masters Highland Games is going to be in Ireland. I want to get together a group of guys to go over there, go up to Scotland, do the manhood stones there, and then maybe drop back, be my second trip, but go back over to Iceland and do the stones over there, and just get a bunch of meatheads together, travel around, and lift stones and drink and eat.
That would be, sounds like cool. A great vacation.
Right. So in the meantime, when you get your arms longer, you can join us.
Right. No kidding. Yeah. No, that would be so much fun to go over there and do that stuff.
Yeah.
Me and Steve talk about that all the time.
Well, I talked to Steve about it. He was in, but we got to get him out of his cave.
I know.
He always tells, I'm going to come to your event this time, and I was coming to check it out. And, he's like, I didn't get a chance to get up there. And
it's hard. I always feel bad, like when people have shows and stuff.
Yeah.
Because the crew, everybody's up there training, and if there's like a show in Columbus, and, like somebody would be getting ready for a show, I get it. Like, I feel bad not being there.
Right.
And then if he's not there, nobody can lift.
Right, sure, so, it's in his garage.
Yeah, so I get that a little bit.
Right, yeah.
Understandable.
He's like Louis Simmons, he went, he's the whole gym.
Yeah, yep.
Where are you, we were talking a little bit before the show started about where you're training down where you're from, so.
Yeah, there's a gym in Springfield. It's Springfield Health and Fitness. It's really like 2 gyms. So upstairs is, I guess, like a typical, 24-hour, like you would see. It's all the machines and cardio. They have a huge cardio room. And then downstairs is all the free weights and dumbbells. They have dumbbells up to 150. And
nice.
They have like a kind of an Oli platform. They have a Rogue Log axle. And then when I started going there, I took yokes, farmers. They have sleds.
Right.
All that stuff inside. I think it's huge. I think someone told me at one point it's like 40,000 square feet or something.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it's really big.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's really cool the way it's split. So you don't have the, people who are just there after 5 o'clock to do their normal stuff, which there's nothing wrong with that. But then you go downstairs and it's like
those clubs are dying. When we go home to my wife's from we go and lift in Davenport, Iowa. She's from Muscatine, but
okay.
They've got a place there, the Papes it's called. It's the same deal. Up top you have all the beautiful machines and the sauna and everything. Downstairs it's just power racks and benches, and there's like a punching bag. And those gyms are slowly going away, but they used to be all over the place. I used to train at one in my area that was like that too. They just kind of push those guys down to the basement where they're not going to scare anybody.
Right.
And it's a shame that those places are going away. I think, when because you used to have those hardcore bodybuilding gyms, and I don't think those guys ever made a ton of money. The guy at the Papes was great because apparently what he would do was there was a strip club down the road from him, so he would give all the strippers free memberships.
Smart
so
guy.
The strippers would come in and lift for free, and so all the guys would come in to lift.
Right.
It's just like having ladies' night at your bar.
Can't beat that.
I've tried that. I've thought about doing that. My wife is not for it. I thought Wine Dog would be the place to go.
Yeah,
if you're
absolutely.
a stripper, and she's not having it. I guess she doesn't want to make money.
Yeah. That's great.
Talk to me a little bit about your training. Like, how are you setting it up? What are you doing?
Right now, it's basically 5 days a week. It's 4 regular gym days, and then my Saturday I go up and train at all events. That's all we do Saturday. But it's like a squat day, 2 press days, and a deadlift day with accessories.
When you're pressing, are you thinking overhead and benching, or are you doing a little bit of both?
Mostly overhead and then benching and incline, stuff like that, more for assistance.
Right.
But it's like more, Terry Rady's doing my programming.
Okay.
I don't know if you're...
I know that name.
Okay, he's from Indiana. He just won his pro card at the Arnold 231, and then he took second at ASM. So I got with him after the Arnold, and it's been like one strict press day, and then like a push press day, and then not so much, really any pressing on the weekend.
Right. Do you do well on a system like that? Do you feel like, because obviously you've been around now, you could do this on your own, and we have a lot of people on matter of fact, Steve is on our online programming. I think he kind of cherry picks which ones he's going to do, but do you do better where, excuse me, someone's saying, hey, do this on this day, or...
I don't know if I do better. I've always done... I had a coach for maybe 2 years. That's been 5 years ago. And I always did my own stuff, and then I kind of learned from him. He was big into West Side.
Yeah.
So we basically did that split. So I stuck with that. I learned as much as I could. Did my own thing. After the Arnold, mentally, I was just like, I just want to check out mentally. I just want someone to tell me what to do. I want to go to the gym. I have somebody tell me what to eat. I don't think about it. I just go do.
Right.
That's so much easier.
Well, that's how I got involved in online strength training for people, because I never wanted to do it because it was always so stupid. You'd see people like big name guys. Oh, I've got 7 more spots left. No, you've got 70 more spots left.
Right.
Take as many people as. And I never wanted to be that guy. And I had a very, and I've told this story before. I had a very high level Highland Games athlete who was also a former pro strongman and a former pro football player asked me to do his programming, and I'm like, why? You know what the hell you're doing. You don't need me. He's like, I just want to shut my brain off and train. I said, okay. And the way we do our programming is you're in a Facebook community, and I put the workouts out there, and I let people kind of talk shit to each other and throw the workouts out there and do what, post the results. But I don't sit there and hold your hand, because I think that's I think it's kind of hard to do when if I'm actually going to be coaching you, I want to be in the room with you and watch you squat. And if you don't look like Jake Reynolds, we're going to figure out why you don't look like that. You know? It's kind of hard to do online, but that's the way we handle it.
That's great. Steve showed me that. It looks awesome.
We have fun with it.
Yeah.
And we're I'm playing with that with the conditioning aspect of it too, because I just think you guys, so much of what you do is movement and athletic based. You're not powerlifters,
Right.
You got to be able to move.
That's something I struggled with for a long time.
Well, I think that's
I was very static. I'm still very much on the
You
static
move
side.
really well, though. I was watching you do like yokes in that America's Strongest Man. You move well.
Yeah, I could move still a lot better. A lot better. I still got some work to do.
Yeah,
but we're getting there.
When you train on your events day, how do you set it up? So, or is there a setup, or do you just guys go kind of decide what you're going to do once you get there?
It just depends. So I started after the Arnold with him, and it was mostly just get moving. It was like farmers and medleys and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then as we got closer to ASM, it was more event specific.
Right.
Which there wasn't much cardio involved at ASM. Really, I mean, it was pretty static, I guess. It was really heavy.
It's been. And how old are you?
29.
Okay, so but I'm sure you've seen the old videos of World's Strongest Man when like John Paul was in it and everything. It was so much more movement based, but I think the weights were a lot lighter than they are now. I remember seeing Kaz and John Paul and Jeff Capes at Huntley Castle doing the pure strength. Remember that we were all in kilts? Mm-hmm. And I think the heaviest stone they put into that barrel was like 120 kilos.
Right.
Which there's girls doing that now, but they had to pick it up, put it on their shoulder, walk all the way across the castle grounds, put it into a cart, and you just don't see that as much anymore.
No,
you know?
Those pure strengths were the coolest.
They really were.
They're my favorite things to watch.
Yeah.
Especially the team ones. They're
right?
So awesome. We watch those all the time. Anytime a new guy comes and trains with us, we ask him if he knows who those guys are.
Right.
And, I think everybody here that's been in a powerlifting gym knows who Kaz is for the most part. But they're like, kinda, and we're like, have you seen Pure Strength? And they're like, no. And we're like, okay, so when we're done training, we're going to go get food, and we're going to come back, and we're watching Pure Strength for like 3 hours.
Right.
That's what we do.
That one where Kaz drops the barrel on OD down in the
pit.
What the fuck, man?
Know,
How did that
crazy.
Not kill that dude?
I don't know. It's crazy.
They do the camera angle, and they're looking down, and OD's just like on the ground all fucked up. For those people who have never seen that, check out... I don't remember what year it was, but it was Pure Strength team competition. You had Kazmaier and O.D. Wilson. You had like Halti Anderson and Magnus Vermagnuson and Ab Vulders and some big giant tall guy.
Yeah, I can't remember. And I can't remember. Is that the year they split where they had to chop the pole and then they both had to drag the pole and O.D. just jumped on it and split it in half?
Yeah, or they were using a battering ram to open up the castle. I mean, just crazy shit you never see Strongman do anymore.
Yeah, and that was on ABC, I think, at the time.
Was
that was
it
like
really?
Wide World of Sports when that came out was that the early 80s, late 70s, something like that?
It was probably the early 80s. But the one scene where they're picking up these barrels and they're literally racing across these castle parapets, trying to get and the guys at the bottom... There's guys at the bottom. I don't know what the hell they were doing down there.
I think Odie dropped his, if I remember right.
Right.
And then Kaz was trying to block. I think it was Magnus Vermagnuson.
So they
from getting through the
door. On the shoulder
to
throwing elbows at each other.
Yep.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it was crazy.
Can you imagine doing that now? Everybody loves each other so much. Nobody's going to throw an elbow and try to hit each other.
Yeah, it was cutthroat back then.
I should have asked Magnus when he was on the podcast about what it was like to...
I'm pretty sure it was
a wrestling match with Kaz on this top of this castle. Mm-hmm. I'm actually going to see Kaz in 2 weeks. Not that like we're going to go hang out or anything, but he's going to be up at that Swiss convention up in.
Are you going to that?
Yeah.
That looks like it's an awesome time too.
Yeah, I've never been up there before, but we'll see it. I mean, you got Ed Cohen and Kaz and Duffin and Wenning, and I'm going to go to all the meathead things.
Oh absolutely.
I don't have much interest in shoulder stability or mobility,
right?
So I'm going to go to all that and all the. Serrano's talking about hormone replacement.
Okay.
And that it all looks pretty awesome, so I'm gonna go check that out. But yeah, those old Pure Strengths were so inspiring, and I think they were the at least for us when we started, we hold a Highlander every year, and that was the basis for that Highlander was that. Pure Strength at Huntley Castle, all these strongmen in kilts, and Jeff Capes at the time was like a 3-time Highland Games champion too, so he knew some of the events like the weight for height and the caber, and those were really cool events. I'm hoping Highlanders take off more and you get to see. I'd like to see some of you guys go back and forth. If you have some really top level Strongman guys against some really top level Highland Games guys, it would be really cool to see how that shakes out.
Yeah, it would be. I think, well, with Thor, I mean, he could do it probably.
Yeah.
He's, weight over bar record now
Yeah.
already? And
what drives me nuts about that is he breaks the world record and everybody bitches, all the, pseudo Highland Games experts. Well, if someone would just teach him technique, fuck.
Right.
Breaking the world record, what the fuck does he need technique for?
I
He's
know.
fine. That's his technique. Kaz sucked at it too, but he threw it, I think he went through it 16.6, but at the time that was humongous,
Yeah. I've tried to throw with, like Steve does that from time to time, and a couple guys up there do it. It's so technical, first off.
Yes.
It's a whole different, it would take me a long time to get all that stuff
your
done.
arms are so short that,
Throwing sucks.
Yeah.
Overhead, especially like the weight over bar, even keg toss, I'm not very good at.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't
like those.
Strength and others. What's your like best log press though?
440, I think.
That's fucking sick. I can throw higher in the weight for height, but I've got like a 270 log press.
Yeah. That's anything overhead pretty much.
Benching, what was...
My bench isn't very good.
No?
No, I don't like I hate benching. I've always hated benching. Like 485.
Right.
Nothing.
So you can press a log
almost
as much as a bench press. That's crazy. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of benching either. Benching for me always feels like something, and I think this is again being a little bit older athlete. It always feels like something's about to snap off my body every time I do it. I
don't feel comfortable. In a lot of places, I'm not like bragging about how big I am, but like when I lay on a bench, it's not comfortable.
Yeah,
like my shoulder blades are on the outside of the bench pad, so it's not. I don't feel safe. Now, like the fat pad.
I was gonna say, have you ever tried that?
Yeah,
I've never been
I
on
love
one.
that, but I don't want to buy one and take it into a commercial gym.
Yeah, when your shoulders as wide as yours are, there's nothing supporting you underneath that bench.
I don't like it at all. It scares me. I'm just if I got hurt benching, I would be so mad at myself.
Be stupid, right?
Yeah. So I try not to push that heavy. Really.
Yeah.
I never really have.
I've heard good things about that fat pad, though. I've never been one on myself. I'm not super wide in the shoulders, so it doesn't really affect me that much. But Donnie was, he was super wide, so.
I love that thing. I feel like I can sleep on it.
Right.
It's it's nice.
Well, it's super cushiony, too, right? It's super spongy, which I always thought was weird, but.
It's not too bad. Like, it looks worse than it actually is.
Right.
The only thing that's bad about it, like when Rogue, if you buy the pad itself, but if you buy the full setup, like Steve has the full setup, it's so high off the ground I can barely get my feet to touch. Mm-hmm. So, but it's really nice. Yeah. Super nice.
Yeah. Have you been up to Steve's place since he broke the block press record? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I haven't got to talk to him yet. I got to get him back on the show to talk about that. He was so psyched about that. And, I'm sure you were there with it, but I was getting the text messages leading up to it. He's like, I'm doing this for 3 reps and this for 5 reps. So I'm like, I was so not surprised when he broke the world record. I
wasn't either.
Why would Thor at that one?
I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Yeah. I expected him to be going up against Thor, and he was just doing it on his own. But
yeah, he's still got a lot more in the tank too.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, people don't realize. I've seen him do some stupid stuff. I'm so desensitized from lifting with him.
Right.
Like when I see something cool and everybody's freaking out, I'm like, I see that like every Saturday.
That's super interesting, though. You get into those environments where you lose all sense of what heavy is. Mm-hmm. You're lifting with 3 or 4 guys who can. They're slapping weights on the bar that there's maybe 10 gyms in the world that are slapping those kind of weights on the bar,
Especially when we're pressing.
Yeah.
Well, like a year or 2 ago when Jake was coming up regularly, there was another guy up around Steve that would come train with us. And then me and Steve, there would be, 4 of us hitting over 400 on overhead in the same day. Which, you go back to when I started and like just having a 400 log was insane.
Yes.
And then, so to be in that, everybody's always like, why is your overhead press so good? I'm like, well, we're all good at it, so we push each other to the, as far as we can go. It's
the best thing that's happened to strength sports, besides CrossFit, because CrossFit has pulled a lot of guys out of CrossFit classes who said, you know what, I'd rather just lift weights.
Yeah.
But it's social media, because when I was coming up, my goal was a 700-pound deadlift, because that was the high level powerlifters were doing 700.
Right.
There was only one guy on the planet, Danny Wolber, doing 9, and that was way in advance of everybody else. And now on social media, it's like, oh, there's Chris Duffin doing 880 every day for 30 days.
Yeah.
There's another guy. There's one guy. I can't remember his name, but he's a tall, thin guy, and he's deadlifting 900. He looks like he's sitting on top of an ostrich. His legs are so thin. Yeah. It's like now people just see, oh, well, that guy deadlifted 900. Why can't I deadlift 900? It's like,
yeah, it's crazy, and it's been like the last 10 years that's really blown up.
Yep.
Because even when I started, it was YouTube, and that was it, and there weren't many guys putting stuff on YouTube.
And you had to go search for guys doing it.
Poundstone.
Yeah,
that was
right.
I watched his stuff over and over and over again, nonstop. So, but yeah, it is crazy.
Yeah, and
I think it's good, and it's also, I think there's some bad to it too.
Do you? Well, and you're in that generation where, when you go into a gym, guys your age, half of them are just on their phones between every set.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
And then you get, the gurus and everything that seem to be coming out of the woodwork. There's
that have never competed. And,
right.
Yeah. I don't like that. I hate seeing that.
Well, when I get guys who want me to help with their power lifts, and I tell them, yeah, I'm pretty confident I can get your power lifts up. I can't help you in a meet. I've never done a real one. I've done some here and there that were very laid back, but I've never been on a platform with a Chuck Vogapol and know what you're going to deal with that day. So, I mean,
right.
Highland Games Strongman, I'm your guy. I can get you better in the powerlift, but when it comes to competing, I don't even know where to go with you,
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot of guys out there who just, they've got great social media presence, but not a whole hell of a lot of knowledge or experience to back it up.
I can't. I see those guys at shows. I've seen them before, and I've competed against them, like guys who are putting stuff out, like you were talking about earlier. I've got so many spots available,
right?
And it's like I watch them do stuff, and I'm like, you suck at that.
Yep.
Why are you taking people's money?
Yep.
I've been doing it for 10 years. I don't even feel comfortable where I like helping people out.
Well, and that's interesting because when I was your age, I thought I knew everything.
Right.
And I would have been very happy to help out anybody. Mm-hmm. So I think it shows a little bit of maturity that that, I'm strong as fuck, but I've got a long way to go and I'll learn a lot more. Yeah. And, a couple years down, my guess is you'd be fine. You'd be fine helping people out.
I probably would be, but I just don't feel,
right now.
I don't feel comfortable doing it at all. I don't know. It's weird. Like, if I'm at the gym and somebody asks me a question, I'll point out technique stuff and things like that, especially where I'm at now, because when I came in, I mean, Strongman, like, everybody got interested in it. Yeah. It seems like not everybody, but there were, 10 or 15 people where before there was, nobody even really knew what it was. That stuff just sat there and collected dust.
Right.
So I'll help with that stuff, but I couldn't sit down and write programs for people. I don't.
Not your wheelhouse.
No, I feel like, because then if they did bad, I would take just the way my head works.
Well,
like,
that's being a good coach too. Yeah, taking on yourself a little bit of leadership. It's funny that you mentioned about when you got into the sport and there was nothing. We were just downstairs. We're here at Drew Dillon's place doing this interview, and they're basically it's CrossFit Endeavor. Is that where
I think
Thank you. By the way, thank you to CrossFit Endeavor for having us come out. But they've got Krav Maga here and CrossFit and BJJ and Drew Dillon's Project Lift. But down in the one area, they've got some Atlas stones.
Yep.
When I got into Strongman, the only place that I knew of that had Atlas stones was Iron Sport in Philadelphia, Steve Pulcinella's gym.
Okay.
Now it's like every gym on the planet has some variation of Atlas stones in their basements,
Thank CrossFit for that one.
Absolutely.
I don't care what anybody says.
Well,
a lot of that is CrossFit, I think.
It is. Well, Rob Orlando, who a lot of people make fun of, and I don't know how good a strong man Rob Orlando was. I only know him through CrossFit. But he has been a big influence on me, making me kind of he made me look at CrossFit differently when I started looking at CrossFit Strongman. I think using Strongman implements in functional fitness programs is a lot more in line with their philosophy than Olympic weightlifting because it's a lot more functional.
Yep.
It's a lot more everyday. No one's doing snatches in everyday life or muscle ups in everyday life. It's much more likely that you're going to have to lift up an Atlas stone or carry a farmer's walk or something like that. You know?
I agree.
Made me when I started seeing Rob Orlando's stuff, it changed the way I looked at conditioning, at functional fitness in general. Made me get inside my head a lot more and become a lot more creative with how I programmed workouts. But I think he was a big catalyst for the change and why you see Atlas stones everywhere now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think Rogue helped a lot too, probably being in with them, and then they're also really big. They do the Arnold now, basically. So
Rogue's become the biggest thing in fitness, man.
Yeah, so it's cool to see that.
Started out making wooden rings for gymnastics.
It's crazy.
And now they've got a fucking campus. And
I know.
You drive through Columbus and that huge sign of Thor hanging on the building.
Mm-hmm.
And Steve Slater's becoming really prominent within Rogue too. I think he's doing a lot of their strongman stuff.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know exactly what he does.
I don't either. Yeah,
I know he does do some stuff with them.
He's a great guy.
Oh, he's awesome. He was at my second show.
Yeah.
And I knew, like, my first show, I saw everybody wearing Slater.
Right.
Stone.
That iconic T-shirt.
Yeah, with the two guys loading on the barrels.
Yeah.
And it was so funny. I met him at my second show and embarrassed myself in front of everybody. But then, like, my fourth show, I was walking by him, and he was like, "Hey, kid, you want a shirt?" And I was like, "Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I want one of those, please." And now, like... He's so cool.
We ordered, and I had no dealings with him at all. I just knew the name.
Mm-hmm.
So I ordered a 405 stone from him, and he was like, "Okay, it'll be done on this such and such a date because we needed it for Memorial Day." Well, I didn't even think about it. So like the week before Memorial Day, I texted him. I said, "Dude, I totally forgot." He's like, "Oh yeah, it's made. I'm just waiting for it to cure." And he weighed it. Like 2 days before, and he's like, it's exactly 400. I was like, man, Steve, I needed it to be 405 because we already have a 400. We're looking for a PR stone. He's like, no problem. Drills it out, adds a little lead. Now it's 405. Come down and get it. We went down there, and he gave us a tour of the hardware store, which if anyone has never seen Slater's hardware, you think a hardware store, fucking go check out Slater's hardware.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And, everybody in the group got T-shirts, and I mean, he just... What an incredible dude.
Yeah, he is. The stuff he makes is amazing too. Like his stones look like giant marbles.
Perfect. The best stone I have is a Slater stone. From now on, whenever I get a new one, I'll go to him too. His logs are amazing too. Every time I get to use the wood logging contest, I see that little Slater. Yeah.
I'm
afraid
excited
to buy one because they're so pretty, and I'm afraid my meatheads at the gym will break it or ruin it. Or
I would be careful.
Right. You just want to mount it over your fireplace. Right?
I know. I thought about that before. Even the farmers he makes look so cool with the rope on the end.
Yes.
Yeah, he makes some awesome stuff.
Yeah.
And that log he did for the Arnold is...
that Austrian oak, that thing hanging up in the... You can actually go see it if you go to his hardware store. It's, for the folks out there who haven't been out there, it's hanging over the back of his hardware store, and you can actually go and put your hands on it and see how big this goddamn thing is.
It's enormous.
It's way different than any road log you've ever lifted.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that drives me nuts, though, about the road logs is how impossible they are to lift. Those things are so much harder than...
Oh, really?
I can't stand them. They're just...
The 12-inch one?
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Do you really?
Yeah, that's what we have at Steve's. I love it, yeah.
Okay, so he had like the original prototype because it's a little bit heavier than...
It's lighter, I think. I think his is 100.
See, the ones I have are only 65.
Oh, okay. And
but it's the same diameter.
Okay. Maybe that's what it is.
And then if I go to a competition and I get on somebody else's log, it's like, oh, this is way easier to lift. Yeah. So it's kind of a catch-22. You probably should train on road logs and compete on bigger ones. Yeah, we're going up. I'm supposed to do a strongman competition tomorrow. I could care less about doing it, but it's, as far as like how I'm going to compete.
Right.
But
is that in Youngstown?
Yeah. Sean Shoemaker's. I love Sean, and I told him, if you ever have a competition, I'll come come do it because he always does ours. So, I don't care how I compete, but I'm gonna go and play and have a good time tomorrow. And I'm hoping we use his logs. His log is just beautiful, just a big giant.
Really?
Thing sits way up high on your chest. It's so easy to press. So I'm hoping we use that. But
that's like the Bartos log is really nice too.
I've had him on the show, but I've never.
All the stuff he makes is really good.
Yeah.
The log is it's super easy to clean. The only thing is the big one. It's 230. It's different to press because it's bottom heavy. So the weight, I don't know, like everything you press just kind of wants to go behind you. It makes it fun.
Yeah.
It's a little more challenging, but it's a really good log.
What do you think of like the stones of steel everyone's using now? Some people love them, some people hate them.
I have a love-hate relationship with them.
Yeah.
Like one day I'll be really, really good at it, and one day I'm really, really bad at it. Like the Arnold, I was really, really good that weekend. At ASM, I zeroed, so it's just... it's hit or miss.
Yeah, I've never gotten my hands on one. He was on a show, and another fantastic dude. He just brought me he has that I-beam attachment for doing pull-ups and shit on. So he just brings me one. He's like, here, check this out. And, all my guys are on that thing doing, pull-ups and pull-downs and rows with it and shit. Just a super nice dude.
I got one because Steve did the Arnold 3 years ago, and that was the first time anybody had seen it.
Yeah.
And I watched all those guys struggle with it. The following year, they announced it was going to be in there. And I was like, well, I got to get one.
Right.
I don't want to be. So we have one up there. We use it like every weekend.
Do you tacky up for that or no?
Use like a tacky towel.
Okay.
Now you can use spray tacky. So like stick them. The way I do it is stick them. Well, rubbing alcohol, then stick them. And then the tacky towel on top of it. Okay. Is the best I've found.
Is it just that regular like spider tack is not good on it, or do they just not want it on there?
I don't think they want it on there.
Right.
I think that's the only thing. They don't want to clean it up.
Fair
Makes
enough.
Sense, yeah.
Fair enough. Yep, I can see that.
Logistically, that's the greatest piece of equipment anybody's come up with.
You don't need 8 million Atlas stones.
Right. Makes sense.
Yeah. We've got 90 of them in our gym. I just
90?
Yeah.
Holy
I like
crap.
collecting Atlas
I'll have to
stones.
come up there and check that
out. Oh,
out.
Come out anytime, brother. We'll get you up there training. Yeah, we've got such a weird gym. We're my wife was a CrossFit regional competitor, so that's how we started out. We were like a CrossFit for like a year and a half and dumped the affiliation because we weren't doing anything. Yeah. We weren't into it. No one's doing the open. We're not. Right. We're just more strongman based. So we do our conditioning, but it's all strongman based conditioning. A lot very few gymnastics movements and more stuff everyone can do. But yeah, come on up anytime.
I would like to.
Yeah, we got the loading platforms and yokes and pretty much everything.
That's awesome.
Yep. Well, this has been pretty good, man. I appreciate you coming out.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Anything you want to? Where can people follow you on the social medias?
I have Facebook, but I'm real bad about that one.
I follow you on Instagram.
I do have Instagram, and I think my tag is JReynolds65.
I'll tag you when we do a post for this. I'll make sure I tag you in it. That way people can find you. Your Instagram is awesome, man. I love seeing the big weights being moved.
It's mostly overhead press. I learned that the more overhead I press, the more response I get. So I just stopped posting everything else.
Well, that makes sense. That's Instagram, right?
Yeah. So
I was expecting more as far as hair today, because normally your hair volume is gigantic with the big.
I'm on my lunch break, so I got to keep it tamed down for work.
What do you do? What do you do for work?
I'm an insurance agent in Springfield. Yep. Family business, so it's fun.
Cool.
My grandpa does it. It's McMahon Smooth Riddle Insurance.
Do you like for gyms like
we do just about anything.
Give them a call, man, if you guys want gym insurance, because that is a bitch to get done right. We've gone through a couple insurance companies. We finally found a good one, but we went through the CrossFit group insurance, and we went through another insurance company, and they were all really, when they came to certain events, they'd be like, oh no, we can't have you doing that, And so
some of them are weird too, like with the Atlas stones, they'll be like, that's a liability.
Right.
I'm like, everything in here is a liability. Yeah. It's just you got guys putting 500 pounds on their back and walking out with it. At least with the stone, if you can't pick it up, it's not gonna hurt you.
CrossFit, and then what they have is like it's like a commune. Everyone comes together, puts money in. What they didn't like about one of our events is we had a truck pull, and they said the truck pull was too dangerous, and it was because of that fucking CrossFit video. Have you ever seen the CrossFit video with Jason Khalifa's team, and they're pulling that car? Well, one of the I think it's a guy stumbles, and the car's going fast, just like runs him over. And I guarantee that's why they thought it was so dangerous.
Probably.
They don't realize this truck is moving at like 1 mile per hour. Right. There's no way you can run yourself over with.
Yeah, it's all dangerous. It's just, I don't.
It is. It's all dangerous. This shit ain't fitness.
Yeah,
you know.
And I mean, even in a regular gym, you've got liabilities.
Absolutely.
So you can get stuck in a leg press or something like that. So whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, if you need insurance for your gym or competition, get a hold of Josh.
Yeah.
If you want some training tips, I got to get down one of these Saturday mornings and come down and hang out with you guys and get embarrassed and.
You won't get embarrassed. You can get the weight over bar out and you put us all to shame, I'm sure.
My one-trick pony. All right. Well, I appreciate you coming down. This has been great. Well, I'll do it again sometime.
Absolutely. Anytime.
All right, brother. This has been the Refined Savage. See you later.